All right, so let's start with part one. According to Coulthard, the Lego or Roblox Coulthard, Lego John Lewis said Norris tried Verstappen's trick. Yeah, tried Verstappen's trick. Tried to cross track and cross him and block him. Ended up going wide, race over. I don't know why he thought he needed to do that. Did he think that Verstappen would pass him otherwise, or did he think he didn't have enough race pace? And also, did he think that coming second place would be such a bad thing since he has a big lead? That's the first sign of like a shark can smell blood. That's the first sign that he's afraid. He tried something he's never tried in his life before. He tried to block Verstappen by going all the way around the track, and he went wide. He's never done that before. It shows that he's desperate, but it also shows that what we knew, that his pole position in Vegas the day before in the rain was not indicative of what the race pace would be. He got that pole position in the rain because with the rain, McLaren's downforce helps it coming off the corners and with the traction and everything. But in dry conditions, we know that, as we predicted, Verstappen would win easily. And we thought Russell would come second, but he had a problem with his steering. So at the beginning of the race, Norris knew that he didn't have the race pace, and he tried a very risky, as far as I'm concerned, stupid move, which is unnecessary given the fact that he leads by 36 points. What are your thoughts, Kunle?
Yeah, I think that in the race, Norris actually had a poor launch from the start. He had a slower getaway than expected, and it compromised his position into the crucial first corner. So, he marginally
was leading.
But
he defended his position, but he went too wide. Yeah,
exactly. And Verstappen was able to take the opportunity to challenge him immediately because he went too wide in an attempt to block Verstappen on the inside line. Norris went far too deep.
That made him come into third.
Yeah, that
made him come third. Yeah,
it allowed Verstappen to sweep around the outside and just take the lead, and it also allowed Russell to pass Norris, thus relegating McLaren to that third position early in the race. Norris's first lap errors immediately cost him the lead, and he dropped behind Verstappen and Russell, forcing him to fight his way back up the grid. And although Norris regained second place from Russell, he could never overcome Verstappen's superior race pace once the Red Bull had cleared the track, which we already discussed yesterday. And also, one other mistake that could have had been one more lap longer, that forced fuel saving later in the race. Norris was forced into an extreme fuel-saving measures late into the race just to get.
I think he went light on fuel to try to get an advantage in race pace. This is desperate behavior. This is the behavior of someone that, even though they're leading the championship, is beginning to panic. I'm serious. I'm not trying to hate on him. Go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the race, that's what cost him a 20-second lead at the end of the race. One more lap, and then he had been all over him. He'd have been in trouble. So
because he could have gone too light.
Mistakes, whereas Russell's main problem was the car. Antonelli's main problem was the penalty. And, so everybody's sort of their main problem. It was Norris's mistakes that got him where he was. Piastri's loss of ability to really stay, although he's still in the title fight. But I think he's more realistically in the title fight than
I believe that Norris Piastri is going to drive well next week because it's going to be in Qatar. This is a low-speed track. There's nothing special about it. It's not very technical. He's not going to have to worry, and it has a lot of grip, and there'll be a lot of downforce, so he's going to have a good shot. The question is the Red Bull car going to be able to beat them on that track? I don't know. We can't predict. But as you said, Piastri did okay today. His problem was in qualifying and in the rain, and he's had struggles. He did pretty well today, but he let who is it that he let pass him at some point? Was it Leclerc? Yeah.
Yeah, Leclerc, yeah.
Yeah, and that held him back. But to be honest with you, he didn't gain or lose too much this weekend. It's just been a shit show for him. What are your thoughts, Kunle?
Looking forward into the Qatar track, I am actually thinking it's actually a fast and flowing track with long main straights and a series of medium to high corners. So
but here's the problem. I'll tell you what the problem with that track is. I'll show you the track. The problem with that track is that, it does have high-speed corners, but it's mostly corners. It doesn't have a lot of straight. Do you get what I'm saying? And we know that McLaren does better on corners because no matter whether a corner is high speed or low speed, when you're negotiating corners, you need downforce. You see what I'm saying? Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, you're actually correct. The constant high G forces make it physically demanding for the drivers. I mean, but there is the one straight that there is actually
look, you can just look at this track and tell it's going to be a problem for
Verstappen. Yeah.
See the top of it? That whole area that looks like a tree branch. That's not going to be good for. You're going to have a lot of traction and grips. Yeah,
that's a McLaren type track. That is definitely a McLaren type track.
I mean, Verstappen, because at sea level, his car was beginning to get more balance and traction and stuff. But to be honest with you, I'm not going to say it's going to take a miracle, but they're going to have get the setup absolutely right. Go ahead, Colin.
Yeah, I mean, yes, Verstappen, his car is not out of competition when it comes to Qatar, but it definitely will be a problem because there's so many corners. But there's some high speed corners, which will make Verstappen strong in this race, as opposed to McLaren that are good in the low speed corners. So that's the advantage, I think.
The only problem is that, like you said, he'll do well on high speed and medium corners. The only problem is that there's just so many corners. You get my point? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hot there, and we know that the McLaren. Sometimes I wonder how they make this calendar. You have the fastest, coldest track. Then the next week, a moderately slow, very hot track. It's like contrast. It's like now you go back to McLaren's advantage. You get what I'm trying to say? It's crazy, man.
Yeah. But McLaren's advantage is not over Red Bull. It's over everyone else but Red Bull. I think with Red Bull, it's an advantage over Red Bull in a sense as well.
He'll still come top three. Max will still come top three. Yeah, he'll come top three.
Yeah, Max will still come. It's not like there's some tracks where Verstappen, where Red Bull will simply not compete.
To be honest with you, Verstappen has won 6 races this year. I think Norris and Piastri have won like 7. He's won as many as them. What is hurting him was when the car was rubbish and he was coming 5th and 6th in places like Spain. That's actually what's hurt him because he's won almost as many races as the other 2. But the problem is that they were more consistent. They were always on the podium. There were a lot of races Verstappen wasn't on the podium when the Red Bull was shit. When especially because they've gotten better since Horner left. You get my point? Yeah.
Yes, we thought when Horner left that this was the end of Red Bull, and look at what they've done. And yes, it's been Verstappen really saving them, but it's been Verstappen because Tsunoda hasn't shown anything. If Tsunoda was driver one, that's the
thing about Verstappen is that Verstappen gives good feedback, and he sits down and tries to solve problems. He's really the true leader of that team now. He's the leader of the team. So let's see. Let's do part 2 now.